we've got to raise the bar, and we've got to continue to raise the bar. I don't think any of those young men, when they signed to come to Tennessee, they signed to say they wanted to come and be a part of a 7-6 program. They said they wanted to come and compete for championships, SEC championships, national championships. I know that's what I want. I know that's what Tennessee wants. I know that's what the expectation is. So we've got to continue to reassess everything that we're doing and make sure that we're continuing to move the needle in the right direction.
I believe we have a Heisman quarterback, and when you have a Heisman quarterback, you got to have the receivers to make plays. And individually wise, I want to make plays for him because, what he has done and just him being a leader here, I have so much respect for him. Me and Hook, we go back a long time. Even when he was at Virginia Tech, I committed there before I came here. So that's how I met him at first. And, it's a brotherhood. And, I love him. And, I try to go out there, and it doesn't matter what ball he throws me, man. I'm trying to make the play for him, just because what he has done for me, I just want to give back to him.
Just look around. You got the mountains, you got the most beautiful city in the whole entire country. The university is absolutely, looks like it's out of a storybook. It's just beautiful. People are incredibly genuine and extremely nice. It's just a place that obviously I'd want my kids to go to school. And it sells itself. You don't have to sell anything about this place. You just got to get them here. The old field of dreams. Yeah. Build it and they will come. It's already built.
They don't know where number 11 is lined up. They don't know who's covering him. And I think he has a heck of a day. I think he's going for at least 2 touchdowns and 100, 120 yards. I think it's going to be a little bit dialed back from last week. I don't think they're going to hit 60, but I've got them 55-19.
Like I said, it's going to be therapy. I know people are mad, people are upset, people are hurt, people are confused, people are blaming people want to fire people. Our pets' heads are falling off.
Yeah, depressed. That's a good word for this, Boogie. You and Eric were talking about, is this the worst loss ever for me in my lifetime? Definitely. And I've seen the Wyoming game. I was there for that. I've seen Georgia State game, and even worse than that, the Memphis game back in, what was it, 96, I think, when Peyton was quarterback and they had their miracle 1 win over us.
For times when my life seems so low, it would make me believe what tomorrow could bring, when today doesn't really know. Doesn't really know.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you were right, believing for so long. I'm all out of love. What am I without you? I can't be too late to say that I was so wrong.
I don't even know what to do. Guys. I'm so depressed. I see in the chat, I'm reading it. Dan Yoder says, you're killing me, Boogie. You're killing me. I mean, it's 9:05. It's 9:05. We go live at 9 p.m. Eastern time every single Tuesday. It's 9:05. And I'm here by myself. I'm all alone. I'm so lost without you. I don't even know what to say. It's been such a depressing week. It's been so sad. It's been so sad. Oh, we got 136 people watching live right now. And I'm all alone. I'm all by myself. I didn't know it was going to be by myself. I didn't know till just now when I went live. When I went live, I found out I was going to be alone, all alone. We got 143 people watching. The chat's starting to flood in, but it's been such a depressing week. It's been such a depressing week. I feel like I need to play the intro again and try to reset. I'm going to reset. I'm going to let you guys listen. The new people coming into the chat, I feel like they need to get on my level, and realize where I'm at. Here's the intro one more time. We'll be right back. We'll be right back in 1 minute and 46 seconds.
They don't know where number 11 is lined up. They don't know who's covering him. And I think he has a heck of a day. I think he's going for at least 2 touchdowns and 100, 120 yards. I think it's going to be a little bit dialed back from last week. I don't think they're going to hit 60, but I've got them 55-19.
Like I said, it's going to be therapy. I know people are mad, people are upset, people are hurt, people are confused, people are blaming people want to fire people. Our pets' heads are falling off.
Yeah, depressed. That's a good word for this, Boogie. You and Eric were talking about, is this the worst loss ever for me in my lifetime? Definitely. And I've seen the Wyoming game. I was there for that. I've seen Georgia State game, and even worse than that, the Memphis game back in, what was it, 96, I think, when Peyton was quarterback and they had their miracle one win over us.
For times when my life seems so low, it would make me believe what tomorrow could bring, when today doesn't really know. Doesn't really know.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you were right, believing for so long. I'm all out of love. What am I without you? I can't be too late to say that I was so wrong.
Let's try it again. Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. I'm all on my own. I'm all by myself. I'm so lost without you. Look, hey, we got a team effort going on around here, but some people didn't show up to work. Boogie's just here hanging out by himself. But you guys in the chat are right. I'm here with 171 of my closest friends. Hey, we're going to get through this thing together. The link is out. I put the link out to everybody in the Talkin VAWLS Elite. If you want to come in, you want to drown your sorrows, you want to get through this together, we'll do it. If not, we'll go down to Talkin VAWLS Gold. If not, we'll go down to Talkin VAWLS Faithful, all the way down to the cheap people like Wayne. We'll get through it together. You guys, you may be laughing. Dauber's supposed to be here doing a little work. I have no idea where he's at. I have no idea where Dauber's at. No idea. No clue. No clue where he's at. If you guys wonder who's putting in a little work, I have no idea where Dauber's at. Let's run down the chat. See who's hanging out. Appalachian Adventures is here. Appreciate that. Taylor Nation says, gotta stay positive. Kelly Goodwin is puking. I put that little intro together. I thought it would be funny, man. I went with the Dumb and Dumber quote of our pets' heads are falling off. I was just rocking and rolling, man, just freestyling. And then Big Vol Daddy came in. He was so depressed, so sad. I thought it would be fun. Look, we can laugh at ourselves. That's the beauty of this fan base, man. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? Like, you got to just accept it. South Carolina won and move on. Angry Titans in the house says, eat more chicken. Alan V. Troll Patrol. Hey, I almost put out a video today about Carolina jackpot just because I'm sick and tired of this narrative. This will be the only time I address it. Then I'm moving forward. Carolina jackpot was never invited on this show. He was never invited to come on the post-game show. He had an opportunity. Back in the preseason when I invited him on, but he chose to make a video and try to go viral and try to be a tough guy and throw middle fingers up. And I said he'll never come on the channel ever again from that point on. Look, anybody that is confused about what this channel is about Tennessee fans. It's not about trash talk. It's not about, oh, you make this cool hit piece on me and then I retaliate. I'm not into that game, man. I'm not into that game. I'm into coming on here and talking with like-minded people and talking about Tennessee football. That's what I'm all about. And it's comical. It's comical. I shouldn't be saying this. I had a conversation with Big Vol Daddy. He said, just leave it alone, Boogie. Leave it alone. I shouldn't be saying this. Don't go on the internet and pretend to be a tough guy and call people soft. Look, I've trained jiu-jitsu on and off for like 10 years. I've trained with some of the baddest dudes in the country, and they have choked me unconscious. They have whipped my ass multiple times. And you know what they've never told me? They never once told me they were tough. You know why? Because they're legitimate tough. So don't be an internet tough guy and call people soft. You're weak. Craig J says, salute Boogie, welcome. Come on in, smash the thumbs up. Will Good says, we're here, Boogie. We're here. We got you. I know you guys got me. We can do this. Me and 205 of my closest friends can do it. Look, I'll continue to run down the chat, but let's make it the Boogie and the Coach Jay show. What's up, Coach Jay? You got my back.
I definitely got your back, Boogie. Don't trip. We're not worried about all the keyboard warriors, keyboard tough guys out there, right? Your little Carolina buddy's kind of a punk. I've watched his channel for a while, and just a keyboard warrior, a keyboard tough guy. But no, man, I think we're all adults here. I mean, we've been Tennessee fans for the last 20 years, right? But I want to put a little caveat in there and a full stop. This one loss does not put us back to where we were by any stretch of the imagination. I still think we're going to have a good process. I think Coach is doing everything he needs to do to control the culture. I think we'll be fine there. I really do. I know we picked up a commit the day after, so I was happy to see that. Just some little bit positive momentum after that. But yeah, man, we're here. I mean, it's one loss. Put your nose down. Let's get down to the grindstone and go beat the crap out of Vandy and go to a big bowl game. That's great, man. I think if you asked any Tennessee fan in the world before the season, hey, right now I'll give you a loss to South Carolina and a loss to Georgia, will you take it? I know I'd buy it. Who wouldn't buy that?
That's the kicker, though. It's like it's those preseason questions, right, that people throw at you. It's like, would you take a loss to Georgia and South Carolina in 10-2? And it's like, well, I would, but that's a weird question. But now here we are, right? Like here we are. I'm with you though. Like the loss to South Carolina does not define this football team. That's what I keep trying to preach, guys. Don't forget the LSU win. Don't forget the Alabama win. Don't forget all the success that this football team's had. But on the flip side of that, this Vanderbilt game is huge. How does this football team respond on Saturday against Vanderbilt? Because of the adversity of the loss, all the points they gave up. On top of that, all the off-field rumors that are going on, right? Everything that's being said. How do they respond on Saturday? I fully expect them to come out ready to play football. I expect them to come out united. You know, I made a video on the Hendon Hooker, Jeremy Banks stuff when it was kind of rumor. I don't want to go too in depth to it because, you know, people tell you stuff in confidence and you don't want to kind of go too far. Something did happen there with Hendon Hooker and Jeremy Banks.
Absolutely.
But there's also confirmation that this football team is not divided. They were in agreement with what happened to Jeremy Banks. So I think that's very important to get out there to the listeners, to the audience, to Tennessee fans.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it definitely showed it hurt not having him. But once again, I think Hype's shown at every turn that he's not willing to sacrifice culture. Like he will not do it. And if a tough decision like that needs to be made, it needs to be made. If it costs the team a loss, not saying that's what caused it, but if something like that does cause a loss, then it causes a loss. You can't sacrifice who you are. You got to keep on moving. And yeah, I think we'll come out fired up. I think, one of those magical things about football or any contact sport, you mentioned jiu-jitsu. I was kind of a boxing football guy growing up. If there's magic in those sports, it's that whole rest of that world just disappears, right? The second you step on that field or in that ring or in that octagon, just everything disappears. And it's just the guy next to you and the guy in front of you. And that's it. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I was talking to Eric Kane Monday. Like we were talking off air about jiu-jitsu and football and like you can't fake it. Boxing is the same way. I've done a little bit of boxing, not as much boxing as jiu-jitsu. You can't fake it. You step onto that mat, it's me versus you, and it's simulated life or death scenarios, right? And when somebody sinks in a choke or they do whatever and you tap out, you're saying, you just murdered me. Like I'm admitting that you beat me, and you can't fake it. And that's the beautiful thing about it because it does humble you. And that's why when there are, like, not to get sidetracked and go back to it, but like keyboard warriors, like it like I just ignore it. Like I don't care. I don't care that you're making videos with my name in it. And you know, I get it. Like I'm not dumb. People message me and say, "Hey, did you see this? Did you see that? Did you see this? Here's this." And it's like, yeah, when you put Talkin VAWLS in your title, you get more views. Like I get it. I get what you're doing. I'm not stupid, but like no tough guy. All the tough guys that I've trained with some killers, man. Some killers. I'm not a killer. I'm an average dude. And they beat my ass, Coach Shay. And it's like,
yeah,
they dress like dorks. They're goofy. And they never tell you they're tough. And it's like football's the same way, man. You got to go line up and play. And like that's the beauty of it. Like on Saturday, Joe Milton is going to suit up and he's got to go play. And he can't fake it. You either got it or you don't. How do you feel about Joe Milton going into Saturday? And we've seen bits and pieces, and it's been mop-up duty. South Carolina game, even still, like the game's not on the line. And Eric Kane said it the Monday morning show, said, what does Joe Milton look like when the clock says 0-0-0, no score? What do you think Joe Milton's going to bring to the table on Saturday?
I mean, I think he always brings a ton of athleticism. I think they're not well with Hendon out, we'll see, but they're usually not as cautious about running him a little more like they were with Hendon. I think Joe's a little more sturdy than Hendon, and so we can bring a little more of that athleticism and lean a little more on a downhill running attack. But you're going to see him air it out too. I mean, it's what he does well, is let that ball fly, and it should be interesting to see if he cannot overthrow people all day. You know, if he has solved that problem, that's awesome. But I'll tell you what, I like having a sneak peek at it. You know, if you know, football is one of those things when you take something away, you get something in return always, right? And when they took Hendon away, what we got in return was a big sneak peek at Joe Milton. So we're going to see that in this game, you know. Hopefully he comes out there and shines. He's got every single tool and all the ability in the world to do so. I think he's been around Hendon. I know he's his roommate. He's been around a good guy. I think that will calm him. Just kind of seeing how it's done right, you know, kind of rub off on him. So I'm hoping for good things from him, but if you don't get him, you know, it's not the end of the world. Then you know, right? Then you know, hey, we need that transfer portal, or you know, because I think that's what coach would do. You don't want to rely on two younger classmen to fill a void like that. But I think he's going to be all right, and I trust Joe Milton. I hear the chat kind of talking a little bit about doubting Joe Milton. It's not so much doubting Joe Milton; it's just wanting to see it. You know, it's that
when
show
it counts,
me, show
right?
me
When
attitude when it counts. Yeah. You know, I don't doubt that he's got all the ability in the world. Heck yeah, he's got all that ability. He could go light him up. He could go beat him by 60 just like Hendon can. No doubt about it. He can probably make it look prettier with the arm he's got. Mm-hmm. You know, you just offensive coaches, quarterback coaches just sit around and pray for a guy like that who can take, you know, the lid off like that. So, yeah, I think we're going to be good. I think they'll come out fired up. I think we'll play fast, and I think he will play well. Yes. I guess if I was putting a grade on it, I'd put a B+ on it. I think he's going to play well.
He's going to be a step down from Hendon. Like he is. And I don't know that it's not athletic ability. It's not arm talent. He's got a cannon. Anybody that's watched him play realizes he has a cannon, but how does he manage the offense? What does it look? How does he read the field? Right? Like that's what Hendon Hooker's so good at. And I don't think people realize it. Like he reads the field so well. He manages the offense. He gets everybody in place, lined up where they need to be. That's what Hendon Hooker does so effectively. Can Joe do that? And I am the biggest Joe Milton fan. Maybe in the Tennessee fan. I love Joe. I love his attitude. I love him more now than I did when he got brought in. Like I love that team dynamic, the way he supports Hendon, the fact that he hugged Hendon Hooker when he walked off the field, him back there dancing. Like we can laugh at it and it's funny, right? When Hendon's directing the band and Joe's back there like doing his thing, but that just shows, man, like his ego is in check, right? Like him watching Hendon have success and being able to support that dude. Some people can't do that. Some people can't manage that. And I think Joe is that guy, man. I'm a big Joe Milton fan for the way he carries himself, presents himself, all that stuff.
Yeah, he's seen the right way to do it. There's no doubt about it. He's been close to it, and I know Hype and Golish lead by example. Those guys have a very calm and cool demeanor, and they're really good about trusting their process. They know they have a process that works on offense, and that's what they're going to fall back on. I mean, they don't need to reinvent anything. They just need to plug them in. And Joe doesn't, need to go in there and be Joe Milton, Superman, all everything. Joe just needs to go in there and do the little things right. That's it. He just needs to be great at the little things, not spectacular at the spectacular things. If he can go in there and do that, then we're going to be great. We're going to roll.
Let me jam through some super chats and new members here. Devin Hayes becomes a member of the channel. Thank you, Devin. We appreciate that. Austin Bailey becomes a member of the channel, and now he's waiting in the background. You guys see how this works? Austin is a member of the channel. He joined the channel at the start of the stream. Now he's in the back room. We're about to add him on the show. That's how this thing works. You join the channel. You get to come on, hang out, talk a little football with us. Dave John becomes a member. Thank you, Dave. Lucas Sharp for $20. That is not cheap. Lucas, $20 is not cheap. Says, come on, guys. It's still a great season. Yes, it was a tough loss, but we need to put the loss behind us. Get ready for Candy Week. A New Year's Six Bowl is still on the line. Let's end Candy's hopes of making a bowl and making a New Year's Six. I think that came in while I was playing my sad 80s love song. I'm just having a little fun, guys. Like, I'm having a little fun. I'm a sucker for some old school 80s love songs. I love it, man. I think it's funny, and we have to laugh at ourselves. Like, when you listen to the clip from, and I chose Dauber, I threw him under the bus. Maybe that's why he's not here. But it was just comical, right? Going into the game, we were all saying the same thing. Like, Tennessee's going to boat race South Carolina. Then coming out of it, our freaking pets' heads are falling off. Like, everything crashed and burned, right? And it's like, we're not making excuses, man. South Carolina showed up. They took care of business. We can talk about off-field chemistry. We can talk about whatever. But the bottom line is South Carolina, they whipped Tennessee. Lucas, for another 10, let's be real here. If you got to beat Bama and Florida in the same season but lose to South Carolina, would you take it? My answer is definitely. That's what Coach Jay said earlier.
Yeah.
Everybody in this chat would have taken it. You got an opportunity still to go 10-2. We'll talk about that as the night goes on. Logan Branham for 5. Thank you for super chat. This show is true therapy. So dedicated to UT football. At least we can be sick together. This one hurts, but time for the Joe Show. By the way, bowl game. Do we get it? Well, they're definitely going to a bowl game. Let me add some people and let's talk about the bowl game. Do we go New Year's Six? Let's get Austin in here. We got JT Maxwell and we got Lucas Sharp. Lucas, everybody, welcome to the show. Austin, what do you think? What bowl game do you think UT's looking at? It's got to be a New Year's Six bowl, right? It has to be. If they finish 10-2, you got to be thinking New Year's Six bowl.
Yeah, I'm thinking Sugar Bowl, something around that area. I don't care where we go. I want to get a top team. I think we can beat anybody. Like the Tulane prediction right now, I think it's comical. I think we'd beat the brakes off Tulane.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, Tulane, it'd be fun to play TCU. I'd get a hoot out of that if somehow.
Oh, that would be the best bowl game. That'd be like Purdue on crack if we got Purdue or TCU.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talk about our predictions before the game, but to be frank, I wouldn't change my prediction if we were playing them again this week or the week after. I mean, we played a crap game and we got caught flat-footed and we got knocked out.
Well, I was at that game, so I got to hear all the crap as I was leaving. I had fans screaming at me, and I just kept saying 10-2. Yeah. And I hate South Carolina. I hate them more than Georgia. I cannot stand South Carolina fans, and that was hard to watch live. I'm one of the leaders of the Fire Tim Banks train. I think he's terrible, but I understand he doesn't have good corners. Like, our edge speed has got to increase on the outside. Like, we cannot steal an edge. I was literally calling every play they were running. Yeah, I don't know how he didn't know, but
yeah, I think it's a little bit of a combination of talent in the back end and coaching. I think it's a little bit of a combination. Just watching Danico, a converted safety, I won't bore everyone with a ton of little intricacies right now.
Get into it. Like, for real.
Yeah,
absolutely. Get into
it. Well, just first of all, you can't line up, you can't play football, right? So that's a big problem for Danico Slaughter in the cornerback position right now, how he's lining up in his different sets. And I mean, I don't have film in front of me right now, but whether it's, like a nickel set or if we're in zero, I was watching the game with my son. We digested a lot of football together, and my father too, who was a coach. And just every time we were calling out his positioning being off, whether he was too deep, too shallow, if he had his hips open from the start, or if he just wasn't bent in a football position at times. And it's funny because on run heavy downs, it's like all of a sudden he turns into a duck on water and gets right into position, but it goes from zero to terrible really quick. And not to mention his eyes are bad. Once he's turned his hips, he's not getting fluid. When he moves his feet backwards, he completely stops to change direction, right? When we're moving backwards and we need to stop and move forward, we need to change our direction but not stop. And that's really, really easy to say and really, really hard to do when you haven't been doing it for a long time. And it's shown in him, and we're skinny in that position, and we're just going to have to eat that for a while. And when more DBs were going down like they were, that's going to be a recipe for disaster. It's going to be a recipe for someone like Tim Banks to keep calling vanilla plays that Austin can call from whatever seat he's sitting in.
Yeah. Well, one other thing I wanted to add. Sorry.
Please. No, you're good.
I don't know what we're running, but like it's 3rd and 5, and I've noticed with Tim Banks, he's given a 5 or 10 yard cushion every time on 3rd and 5, and they ran the curl route like 3 times in a row. I was like, why do you have? I can understand a 2 or 3 yard cushion if they're not as good as their receivers, but I feel like he sits way too far back.
Yeah, it was like they were afraid to get burnt every single play.
And they were still getting burnt.
Is it Tim Banks or is it Willie Martinez? Like,
I don't know who it is, but like, they're giving too much space on, like they did against Florida, they did against Georgia. Like I already said, the easiest way to beat Tennessee is just run a deep post every play. Yeah. They never have over the top pedal.
It takes all but 30 seconds for me to be on a headset if I'm Willie Martinez and go, "Hey Tim, our DBs can't keep the lid on this thing.
Yeah,
keep everyone in front of us. We have to." If we
I'm
don't,
hoping that situation gets so much better. I'm hoping with the transfer portal that next year our secondary is going to be completely different, because we just cannot keep up with a strong SEC offense at this point, or any offense.
Let me reset. I want to stay on this same topic. Let me jam through some super chats, and then we're going to reset here real quick. Rolly season for 5. Can we let go of Milton running out of bounds on 4th versus Ole Miss? 1 middle lapse, and everyone turns on him. He's looked good and hasn't had another year. I'm with that. I was so pissed, and I'm the biggest Milton fan in the world.
Me too.
I was so pissed about that play because it was such a mental lapse and just such a holy cow. Just throw the ball up, try to make a play, cut back, try to make a play, something. But we do have to let it go. We gotta let it go and move forward. Kenneth Gordon for 2, nothing to say, just a tip in the old tip jar. Huffer Billy Paw for 5. How in the world do you lose to the Coots? Well, at least you gave them false hope for our upcoming game. Thank you from a Clemson fan. Appreciate the $5. Steve Sullivan, nothing, becomes a member. Oh, I thought he dropped a super chat. Becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that. You got access to the custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. You got access to the fan call-in show, all that fun stuff. We appreciate the support. Let me scroll up here. I think we're caught up on super chats and members. Was Steve Sullivan the last one? Steve Sullivan was the last one, I think. Thank you, Steve. Thank you for all the new members. You guys keep the lights on around here. Look who showed up. Look who showed up and decided to do a little work 30 minutes into the show. He's here, wants to do a little work. And now I'm going to have to reset because this I'm not going to call him an a-hole. He's my friend, and I love him. And it's okay that he's late. But I want to make sure that he sees this intro. So I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to bring this guy on the show. Let's reset. Let's snap and clear. Let's give a 63 effort in the world of Butch Jones. We're going to play it again one more time. Look, we got 313 people watching live. They didn't see this intro. I'm going to make them suffer through my sorrow. So here we go.
They don't know where number 11 is lined up. They don't know who's covering him. And I think he has a heck of a day. I think he's going for at least 2 touchdowns and 100, 120 yards. I think it's going to be a little bit dialed back from last week. I don't think they're going to hit 60, but I've got them 55-19.
I said, it's going to be therapy. I know people are mad, people are upset, people are hurt, people are confused, people are blaming people want to fire people. Our pets' heads are falling off.
Yeah, depressed. That's a good word for this, Boogie. You and Eric were talking about, is this the worst loss ever for me in my lifetime? Definitely. And I've seen the Wyoming game. I was there for that. I've seen Georgia State game, and even worse than that, the Memphis game back in, what was it, 96, I think, when Peyton was quarterback and they had their miracle 1 win over us.
For times when my life seems so low, it would make me believe what tomorrow could bring, when today doesn't really know. Doesn't really know.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you were right, believing for so long. I'm all out of love. What am I without you? I can't be too late to say that I was so wrong.
Man, the myth.
What's up, Dauber? How's it going, buddy?
What's up, D?
How's it going?
This comment, before you even get going, this comment makes me laugh. All the BS tonight. You're ruining the show, dipshit. Clearly, Gary, whoever you are, you don't know my personality. I like to have a good time. I like to laugh. I like to make fun of myself and all of us. Like, get over it. Get over it. What's up, Dauber?
I think your score was pretty close to mine.
100%. I threw you under the bus. That's what I said. Like when you weren't here, when I played the clip, I was like, I totally threw Dauber under the bus and put his prediction in.
Man, the kids don't have school tomorrow, so they're running around like crazy, and it didn't even click that it was rolling up on 9 o'clock. I was like, yeah, the kids are up, they're not in bed. I got plenty of time. And then I'm like, oh crap, it's 9:30.
Yeah, no, man, my phone went off, and I was like, oh shit.
But yeah, man, still haven't woke up from the dream that happened Saturday. But man, I jumped on right when Coach Jay was going through some defensive stuff, and yeah, man, we talked about it in the tailgate show. Talked about Slaughter and how he's really aggressive in the run game.
Bye.
And anything in front of him, but the deep stuff, it's like you said, with not being lined up pre-snap or turned the right way, it's those 1 or 2 steps that get him beat on the deep ball. And you know, it is something that a good coach in the box is going to see and make an adjustment, but I don't know if it's they're not making the adjustment or there's just.
Do we have anyone to make the adjustment with? I mean,
put out there.
No, that's just it.
Hold on, before people start yelling, Lucas, take your mic and move it like 2 inches away from your mouth. That's like 8 inches. Let's not exaggerate. I'm going to keep the jokes to myself. You're perfect.
There you go.
That's the thing, though. Like, who is it? Is it Tim Banks? Is it Willie Martinez? Because we had the same complaints about Warren Burrell, right? Like, he played soft, and I felt like when Danico Slaughter came in, Haddon started playing good football. Turnage played good. Like, this secondary got better.
And then all of a sudden, against
South Carolina, it crashed and burned, man. Like, Coach Jay, you're like, I'm not going to go to no deep dive this thing, man. You know more than all of us about football. Deep dive.
You know, there were times early when he started playing that they were lining him up in press coverage, right? There was multiple times, and time after time he would fail to get his jam on the ball. You know, and if you're going to play press, you darn well better get that jam on the line of scrimmage, because if not, you're burnt toast. You're going to look like he did at times against Georgia, or I think it was really just against Georgia, and then they kind of pulled the string on him. I feel like it happened one other time, and it's slipping my mind right now. But, you know, and as great as he is on runs, he's getting sucked inside on runs too, which is why that post is working so well. You get sucked inside on run when you're a cornerback, that post is going to be wide up all day. You can't give up that inside on press no matter what you do. It's so important. And I don't want to make excuses for him, but when you're used to playing safety, it's just not that important. You know, safety, you're going in one direction most of the time, right? Either forward or kind of open hip diagonally, right? And moving backwards is a different thing. It's why you're running back a ton, you know, like that. And he just, you know, I don't know. He just doesn't quite have enough experience with that. You know, like I said, his eyes are bad. He's got him in the backfield too much. That's going to get you burnt as well. And then just having the holes we do in the secondary, man. But I do think there is good news with the transfer portal. I think I'm really excited about this DB class we have coming in, to be frank. As far as the coaches are concerned, I think I'll reserve my judgment until they have the talent they need on that in that position group. Would I have done it differently? Maybe a little, but I mean, you could have looked worse too.
Let me throw this question out there. Do you think that it is more of a design in how they're doing it right now versus based on what they have to put on the field, in a sense of Banks has to be aggressive with this defense. And, you know, that was one of the plays, I think Slaughter, when he got burned deep, you know, it was that step and a half that he was behind, and he was playing the ball and not the receiver, and you know, threw his hand up and got a fingertip on that ball, but it was still caught. You know, so I think it is kind of that mixed bag of, well, I think we've got to just kind of play this way and over pursue to try to force these turnovers, because, you know, we saw it in the Florida game. If you sit way back, even a quarterback who had struggled up to that point will just sit and pick you apart. And
I was shocked. I was shocked listening to the VolQuest podcast. Like Eric Kane always does a rewatch. He rewatches the game and kind of jots down numbers. Tennessee blitzed almost 50% of the downs. That shocks me because it seemed like they were sitting back in zone. But when I look back, I'm like, the blitzes almost seem lazy.
We
like,
look slow, very slow.
Like
yes,
slow and lazy.
You're being aggressive, but it's like saying, okay, I'm going to be aggressive, but I'm going to tie one arm behind my back and try to kick the crap out of you and be aggressive.
I'm just wondering if we haven't been figured out, you know, like, because LSU, we went out there and we looked great. Florida, not so much, but it's like they've watched the film and teams are starting to figure out the weak points. And we're talking about Slaughter. He's obviously, you know, a weak point. It's just, I'm hoping that we don't see a repeat with Vanderbilt, because if they can just study the film and find the holes in our defense and we can't adjust to it, then we're done until we get more talent in.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's things you can do to keep the ball in front of you a little bit more. And I'm not just talking about, you know, dropping everyone and sitting back, but they need to be a little more aggressive with their zone blitz packages and be a little bit more creative with the way they're disguising things right now. Because when you don't have the talent to just line up, then we're going to have to trick them. right? We're going to have to trick them. We're going to have to be aggressive in the front seven, disguise our coverages, and hope we step in front of a couple balls. And have they figured out our defense? I mean, like I said, it's not really our defense right now because it's being played so conservatively that it's hard to even know the answer to that. Have they figured out that Slaughter is a weak spot? Heck yeah, they have.
Yeah, well, let me rephrase. Is what I meant. Have they figured out the weaknesses in our players on defense, or have they just figured out our defense because our schemes are, subpar compared to what we come up with on offense? We're just not creative at all.
I think it's a little bit of both, I guess. I think it's a little bit of both. I think that they figured out that we're vanilla right now and that we're banged up in the secondary, and that's our weak spot. Yeah, I think that's figured out.
My concern is the secondary of, we can talk about the guys coming in. We got some studs coming in. We got legitimate corners coming in. They're freshmen. So, Coach Jay, you mentioned the portal. The portal's going to be key. You can't rely on freshmen. That's the hard part. And going into year 3 of Josh Heupel, you're losing a ton of talent. I'm a little encouraged about the offense because of the fact that, Ramel Keaton's coming back. Does Jalen Hyatt come back? I don't know. Brew McCoy, I think, is definitely coming back. Squirrel White has flashed. They've got talent on offense. They've got talent. I think they're going to need to hit the portal for the offensive line, but they got to add defensive backs. Like, they added Andre Turrentine, however you pronounce it. They added Wesley Walker, and maybe those guys will progress, right? Like, maybe they do develop, but the corner position concerns me. And they're studs coming in as freshmen, but you cannot rely on. That's why we talk about stacking recruiting classes, right? You've got to stack
transfer portal.
Yeah, so that's the key. That is the key, and I really hope, and Austin Price over at VolQuest says, kids don't take into account one game. I hope they don't. I hope they don't look at that South Carolina game, because that, like, as a fan base, that leaves a bad taste in your mouth, right? Me and Coach Jay at the beginning of the show were talking about, 10-2, we would all take it, but it's like that weird conversation. Would you take 10-2 with a loss to Georgia, but also South Carolina?
It's not a loss; it's a blowout loss. That's what's scary,
We'll
always
look back at this season and say, what if? What if we had beat South Carolina? Would we have been in the college football playoff? What's up, Dustin? I hope your internet's fixed. It's so clean last week. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? I'm in my parents' house in Maryville, Tennessee.
Oh, so you got to be dialed in, clean, ready to go, right?
The parents got the big bucks. I have nothing. So
yeah, listen to this. He's on those mom and dad's internet's great. What's up, man?
This is the safari room. In case you see the leopards and photo albums and whatnot of all the.
Let's take a closer look.
Okay.
Wow, it's beautiful. Let's take a tour.
There we go.
Beautiful leopard painting.
19,
Nice, relaxed leopard. I like it.
1987 type mentality.
Encyclopedias.
Leather-bound books.
Wait a second. People still own.
Is that World Books?
These are hard copies, boys.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, was that sold at the front door?
They have over 900 photo albums because they're photographers. So, from the time I was a wee little lad till now, in all their travels, they do the photo album thing. So, how's everybody doing, man?
Oh my gosh, we're gonna continue the conversation. We got a Clemson fan in the house.
Uh-oh.
We got to look at this guy.
Go Clemson this week.
We confused them with our helmets. We confused them with our helmets last week.
Hey, everybody's welcome here, but when he comes in and goes, "Why don't you let Jack Bart on the show?" Then he'll be gone. Until he says that, welcome, Daniel. What's going on, buddy? What encouraged you to drop in here?
All right, so I've been meaning to do this for a while. A couple of weeks ago, my dad had his birthday was a little over a couple of weeks ago, and of course he went to Clemson, and I had the opportunity to see him about a good 3 months or so ago, and he was not well. He had a 5-year battle with Parkinson's, and the following morning he passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry to hear.
I've been there. I lost my dad in 2015, man. I've been there.
Hey, I know.
Yeah,
Thank
man,
you.
just lost mine in last November.
Oh,
Yeah, that's tough. I have a work colleague who lost his son 4 months ago, almost to the day the other day, and yeah, that's stuff like that's just tough, man. Sorry to hear that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing was, you were talking about the and somewhere in heaven, my dad was probably looking down on y'all. Down, he sees them, sees all the Tennessee fans, and he hears them, and he was thinking, you know, Clemson probably wore those orange helmets better than Tennessee did, but that's
No
not.
doubt.
Yeah, the thing is, I grew up. I was born and raised in Greenville, Tennessee, which is about a good 80 miles or so from Neyland Stadium, and of course, I kind of like had like a dual fandom going on between Clemson and Tennessee. Never been to a game in Neyland Stadium.
You're missing
Oh
out.
man,
Oh,
yeah,
It's the greatest place on earth, especially being there to
Awesome.
watch us beat Bama live. That was something I could never imagine.
you got
I
a
would even
friend in the
recommend a Notre
chat.
Dame fan go.
You got a friend in the chat. Humphrey Billy Paul is a big time Clemson fan, always hanging out. Hey, you know, that's the funny thing when people come in and yell and scream and say we don't allow other fan bases. It's such a lie. Like, I love
Yes, it
other
is.
fan bases. Like, everybody's welcome. Like, but if you come in and you call me a MF or P word, like, what? Like, what? Would you
Wow.
say that to my face? But
They
whatever,
would.
whatever.
And this shirt belonged to my dad.
Awesome.
That's all that I love.
awesome.
You know, hey, like it's no secret, man. Like me and Dauber are an open book when you come on this channel. Dauber's talked about his dad and the relationship. I've talked about a buddy of mine that I went to my first ever Tennessee game with. I still have the jersey. This clown, God rest his soul. No longer look at Dauber with the shirt there. This clown wore a Michael Munoz jersey. Does anybody in the history of Tennessee fandom own offensive lineman jersey merchandise? Like, he had an
Maybe
offensive
Cooper
lineman
Mays.
jersey. And dude, we ate him alive. Like, we laughed at him, and as we're walking to the ball walk,
check it out.
Who does he see? Anthony Munoz, Hall of Fame NFL player. He's wearing his son's jersey. I snapped a picture of him wearing the dude's kid's jersey. Like, just a great story.
That's cool.
That's what it's about, Daniel. It's about relationships. It's about family. It's about, Dauber says it all the time. It's about who you watch the games with, man. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Football's family.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
this
man, that
community
jacket
is,
I just
man.
held up. That jacket I just held up was my dad's. He got it I think before we won the national championship in '98. Like, we go way, way back. And
I remember watching that title game against Florida State with my dad, and we stayed up all night watching the game, and it was great to see Tennessee win that game.
Mm-hmm.
So what
I
made
was born a
you
year after
ride
that.
with
I've never seen
Clemson?
any.
What made you ride with Clemson?
Well,
Curiosity.
killed the cat. Okay. I actually had an interest in going to Clemson as a student. And for some reason known only to God, I did not get accepted over at Clemson. Oh, well, Appalachian Fall Branch. Okay, that's cool. Went to Clemson, visited the campus twice when I was a senior in high school. I was enamored with it. I wanted to go there. Didn't happen. And I just went somewhere, chose to go to another school. And the rest was history. And I really didn't start picking back up with them until Clemson started to go on their national. When Dabo started to come on board and started kicking tail and taking names and such, and And I remember every time they went to the title games or in the semifinals, I made a point to put on my stats. I don't always root for Clemson, but when I do, it's usually when they try to win a national title. And of course, I want to say that my dad's a Clemson man, and so there's that.
There you go.
Let me hit this super chat real quick from Logan. Thank you for the $5. Had to throw another super chat out. I meant, what bowl game do we get? I would love to see Clemson or the Big Ten champ loser. Is that still possible? Robert, what do you think? What do you think?
I want them to so bad.
We will beat Ohio State's ass.
Yeah. I think we drop a little bit further than seeing any of those teams. I think it's probably going to be Cotton Bowl. I think, and I know we'll. Let's see. Did the rankings come out already?
Yeah, we're 10.
What, like 10?
10.
Yeah, we're 10,
okay.
which I think is generous.
Is
generous comparing.
Bama ahead of us?
Yes,
Bama and LSU,
which makes no sense.
Better than that.
Of course.
I
know that was
Bama will get
that
in the
was a
top
silly
4.
question.
Yeah,
but here's the thing: we're probably going to end with the same record as Bama and have a head-to-head win, but it's not going to matter a bit.
How ridiculous is that, though, Dom?
I want Bama head-to-head again.
Yeah, do you think they'll put us in a bowl game against Bama?
They wouldn't. I would love to see it. I would love to see it, though.
No, because the bowls have unless you're what
usually SEC, ACC, or something like that. People keep saying the Rose Bowl. We ain't getting the Rose Bowl. We're not Big Ten or
Cotton Bowl,
Sugar Bowl, maybe.
But let's get this straight, guys. We're sitting here talking about being disappointed about getting the Cotton Bowl or the Sugar Bowl. Like, you know what I mean? If you'd have told me 2 years ago that we would be having this conversation, I would have thought you were crazy.
But how do you take that? Like, we had that conversation. Eric Kane came on Monday morning, and we were having that conversation. How and I'll throw it right back to you, Coach, because you were about to talk. How do you process a team that you were favored to beat by 3 touchdowns and you got destroyed? You got boat raced. You got embarrassed. How do you process it as a fan of, all right, Butch Jones' words, snap and clear. We're still 10-2. We're still 10-2. Like, that's the conversation. We said it at the beginning. Okay, you take this, you take that, 10-2. Sure, sign me up for it. But how do you get past that South Carolina loss? That's the problem that a lot of fans are struggling with.
It is as simple as some people might laugh about this comment. Maybe it's just go beat Vanderbilt. That's what you do. That's what you do is you go beat Vanderbilt. You go to your New Year's Six Bowl and you find a way to win that. And that's it. Your narrative's going to be good. You win a New Year's Six Bowl and you finish in the top 10. I mean, that's a top 10 finish with a major bowl win. Shoot, that sounds gravy to me.
We need to beat Vandy pretty hefty, though.
What did you do the week after losing to Georgia? You started another win streak.
Yep.
Even though it ended in one game, but you got back out on the field and you took care of Missouri. Yep. So, and granted, the Georgia loss stung. Dropping that first one of the year, 2 scores. You didn't play anywhere close to the level that you'd played the previous 8 games. But you got back on the field and you played well against Missouri. That's how you rebound from the South Carolina loss. You get back out on the field and you take care of business and play like you have played this year and beat Vanderbilt. Get the 10 wins and then let the chips fall where they do. And you get that. Listen, for years, I've talked about on this show, the bowl game is special because you get that month of extra practice because these teams needed it.
Yes.
And not necessarily just the teams. I think the coaching staffs needed it because they needed to learn how to coach, and that never panned out. That's why they're not here anymore. I think the extra month of practice for this team is going to be critical moving into 2023.
Huge. It's going to be huge. There's players on that team. Your Squirrel White, your James Pierce, your Joseph, your young linebackers, your young DBs, the kids we brought in that transferred that are young that we need to bring along. All those practices are huge. Those young linemen, just everything, just more time on that football field. You know, they took a lot of time away from people. We used to have a lot more time to practice. They've cut all of that, you know, with the whole concussion concern and all that kind of stuff. You're allowed to hit less. You're allowed to practice less. You're allowed to work less. So when you can steal time in this sport, it is invaluable, absolutely invaluable. Guys, I got to go. My daughter's in town and we're having dinner. But everything's going to be fine. Everyone chill. We're going to go and beat Vandy. Joe Milton's going to look good doing it. He's going to throw some beautiful passes. I'll give you my prediction. Come Saturday, we're going to do a pregame show. I'm assuming, Boogie.
Yeah, we'll do a tailgate show.
You'll do a tailgate show. We'll be all good. It's football. It's a beautiful thing, guys. We get to line up and play it on Saturday, and make that nasty taste in our mouth go away and beat the crap out of Vandy. Because I've heard a couple of them already talking a little smack, and we need to shut that up real quick.
All right, Coach Jay, man, we'll look for you on Saturday. Be always good time.
Absolutely, great time, guys. Take it easy.
Later, buddy.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Dustin's got some background noise. They're yelling at Dustin, saying he's popping popcorn.
That's what it sounds.
Let me check the mic.
Is that me?
Yeah, I thought it was me because you muted me, and then I muted myself, and I can still hear it.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, no, I think it's Dustin. I think it's Dustin. Maybe the leopards are attacking Dustin. Is that what the problem
That's probably
is?
what it is.
I do like what Coach Jay just said, though. He's talking about the time being invaluable. You know, that's what Hooker and Milton were talking about early in the year, that they that they would be out there at 7 o'clock in the morning. They would be the first people there on the field practicing, doing reps. Even though that Milton wasn't starting, he still put in the effort. And I think that's where you're seeing the progress come from him. And I mean, let's not forget, the guy was a 5-star quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, he's got the potential. And I do think that, man, I hate to say it, but he might be our T. Martin.
Martin, I've been saying it all year.
But, I mean, if he keeps dropping 65-yard bombs on the dime, I mean, you're looking at Heisman.
But what did you – look, I'm the biggest Joe Milton fan on the planet. I love the guy. South Carolina game, the game was pretty much over, but there was still a shot. And when he came in, I didn't feel like he ran the offense as smoothly as Hendon Hooker. I thought the South Carolina game was the worst Milton's looked. And it concerned
Well, I mean, he didn't have enough time to settle in either. You know what I mean?
Sure. How does he look? And again, this was Eric Kane's point Monday morning. How does Joe Milton look when
he knows he's the
on
man?
The scoreboard? It's 0-0. It's the first quarter, and Joe Milton's going out there to lead this offense. How does he look? Let's get Kenny in here. What's going on, Kenny? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man. What's going on, fellas? Y'all doing all right?
Doing
good,
Hey,
man.
We've been on here an hour. What's going through your mind? What are you thinking? What do you want to come in here and talk about?
Oh, man, just so many things going through my mind. It was Saturday, and I had to take both my girls down for cheer competition, so I really didn't get to watch most of the game, which was actually, I guess, a pretty good thing.
Yeah, it was a good thing.
The one time I decided not to drink, yeah, that was a mistake. God. But, to me, it just seemed like, the biggest thing that I picked up, it just seemed like Tillman, man, he just seemed like he gave up on at least 3, maybe 4 of his routes. It was kind of frustrating. I looked at him, and it just seemed like he'd stop running. The ball just sailed by another 5 yards. He didn't even seem like he was trying. And it just started to get to you. When you see it looked like certain players weren't trying, and you're just like, what is going on?
When you got Ramel Keaton doing his best, and then Tillman looks like he's just walking around.
Jalen Hyatt bailed out on a couple of
I saw,
and he was tapping that helmet
on the radio broadcast with the Jalen Hyatt. He just pulled up. I thought, Holy cow!
They
what
did
in
a
the
lot at the
world?
game live. You could just see their body language change once things started
So
going bad.
let's
Like
They
come
looked
full
beat before the
circle.
game started.
Let's come
Yep.
full circle back to the drama. Let's come back to the drama. Hendon Hooker, Jeremy Banks. Hey, it didn't get physical, but there was an altercation. I've confirmed there was an altercation, and I've confirmed that the locker room is claiming to not be split. You guys, Dobber, what do you think? What do you think about that? Do you think the locker room split? I in no way,
I'm dying
shape,
to
or
hear
form
this.
do I think that the defense threw the game. They did not do that. But
No.
there was something off Saturday night.
That they're knowing what we know and actual facts, not just rumors, speculation. So and so knows somebody that saw it on a message board. But people that have some knowledge have said there was an incident. You know, it didn't get physical. It wasn't, but something was amiss. You could just tell. You even look at Hooker's demeanor on the sideline when the camera went to him. He didn't look like it was just kind of a glazed over,
depressing.
Yeah, and
they just looked defeated.
The effort across the board, it just wasn't there compared to what we've seen all year. And I'm glad to see you back, Dustin. I thought Jumanji was like getting you there in the jungle room. So
the cheetah took him out.
Jump back.
Yeah. I'm glad we got Gary here because I thought the CIA was about to crash and burn on my house. Gary's here. We got the bunker going. We got all ears. We know everything that's going on around us. Gary's got it taken care of.
I'm in my bunker.
I'm not sure if y'all saw, one of those long throws to Tillman that Tillman gave up on. I mean, it would pan back to Hooker, and he just put his arms up. Like, seriously? Like he was calling him out on it.
Yeah, I noticed too that like when our offense scores, our defense usually resonates off that. Like you can feel the excitement on both sides of the ball. We did not have that at all.
Yep, not at all. Not at all.
Many times in the game, live seeing it, you can see more than's on the TV. And they kept forcing deep balls to Hillman. And if you look on the opposite side of Brew McCoy, he was 3 yards of space multiple times on his man, and he kept trying to force it to Hillman, and it was driving me crazy. Because Brew McCoy or Hyde or McKeaton, they had a step on him. He just kept forcing it to Tillman, and Tillman has given up on his routes.
He was giving up. It almost makes you wonder that, with Tillman getting hurt and then coming back, if that kind of ruined what was going on
Chemistry.
with everybody. They had great continuity.
Yeah, chemistry.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden Tillman gets back. Is he sitting there in the background saying, "Hey, you need to throw me the ball more"?
It seemed like he was trying to force feed him.
Under pressure to do that. Yep.
You also wonder if Tillman's truly 100% healthy.
True.
Like,
I was surprised he played.
I have doubts.
The deep threat, right? He used to be the 50-50 deep threat.
He used to jump over people and grab it.
Yeah,
and now he looks more like a Brew McCoy. Like
third option receiver. He doesn't seem like a number one anymore.
Yeah, he's like a slant guy, a 5-yard hitch. It's
and I was watching him. He's quick, but he doesn't seem as quick as he was before, man. Like
he seems like he's slower, like he's running in sand or
gotta
something.
be still banged up. Gotta be. Dan Yoder for 10. Thank you for super chat. Joe Milton not worried. Why the hell not? He has Keaton and Hyatt to run the passes.
Throw it up. They're down there somewhere.
I mean, you don't have to throw it.
Better. I felt like the offense got better when Ramel Keaton came in the game, but that was when.
Yeah, I feel like they always do. I feel like the offense is always Keaton and Fant. Keaton and Fant don't drop passes. Those are two guys. When you pass it, they're going to catch it every time. Hyatt's dropped a few, but Keaton and Fant have fantastic hands. We're going to miss Fant being gone.
Wait, whoa. We're saying now at the end of the season that Princeton Fant has good hands and doesn't drop passes.
He's dropped a lot of balls. He's dropped a lot of balls.
He has improved. I think
this year he's been great. This year he's been great. I don't remember the years past.
The chat's getting mad about noise again. I got to run down and mute everybody. Is it Dustin? Let's figure out who it is.
I hear it. If you don't hear it, it's you.
Oh, wait. I'm going full screen. It's not Daniel. Daniel's muted. Dustin, get ready. They're going to cuss at you, man. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming. It's Dustin. Dustin's the problem. Dustin, stay muted till you're ready to type. He's not typing. It's internet connection. He's look. I gotta say it. Baze, I love you, buddy. It's This is the fan call-in show. If this was Dauber, I'd be like, look, buddy, you're off the show. You're fired. You're terminated. Dauber's audio's dialed in and clear. Fan call-in show, it's the Wild Wild West, man. We've had people come on without a shirt on. We've had people come on with hay in their mouth. We've had people smoking stogies. You never know what you get in the fan call-in show, but this is for the fans, by the fans. Everybody has a voice. I love Dustin. He's one of my favorite callers, but we got problems. Our pets' heads are falling off with Dustin. Why can we not get Dustin's internet dialed in? We're going to work on it.
I specifically put a shirt on before I got on camera.
I appreciate that.
My alma mater here, you know.
The next time we do a fan call-in show, I'm going to be sitting here talking, and Dustin's just going to pop up right here. He's just going to be right behind me. So he has good internet.
This is my first time on the show, too, man.
He's such a good caller, and it's always a problem. And you guys yell at us, and it's like, man, look at Wayne. Don't think Dustin can't help that. He's blaming Dustin. Wayne comes on, and he looks like he's in a freaking terrorist bunker, but he's going to attack Dustin for being in the cheetah room. He's going to be in the cheetah room. Angry Titan says Dustin needs a headset. Dave says, love you, man. It was just bad. Carl for 5, thank you for super chat. High point coaches need to recognize when player leadership is ineffective and be the leaders. Coaches should be the primary motivator. I think they are, though, right? Jeremy Banks had a rough week, man, and he got left at home. And Josh Heupel called him out in the post game. He didn't say his name, but he called him out. He called him out, put him on.
It was definitely directed at him.
100%.
Definitely directed.
There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Man, can we can y'all do me a favor and just butter me up a little bit on this? Does anyone else think that Dylan Sampson is going to be?
He's going to be a superstar.
Our star. I mean,
he is a problem already, and he's only freshman.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember Travis Stevens, but that's who he reminds me of when he gets the ball, man. I just hope he doesn't fumble as much.
He's got Kamara type speed and cutting ability. I think he can be. My biggest thing is Small's a good short yardage back, but I think we need somebody like Kamara. You can hit in the flat and make people miss. If we get somebody like that, it'll take our offense to another level.
Yeah,
I think we don't really have that right now. He's more like Wright than Small.
Yeah,
Small just doesn't have that top end.
Small.
He's a good short yardage back though.
Small can't hit that extra gear that I feel like Sampson is going to have.
Yet. Like I think with some more training, man, and they're talking about beefing him up. I really hope they keep him fast.
Sampson can. Small can't.
Sampson. Oh, Sampson. No, Small can't. Yeah.
And
I think Jalen Wright's better than Jabari Small.
I do too.
Jalen Wright is good. I think he's good.
The only issue with Wright is and he's fixed
fumbles.
It since probably the Alabama game, but was putting it on the ground.
Yeah. But he has, like you said, Gary.
Is he the one who did it against Georgia?
I agree.
Cleaned it up.
I mean, I think we talked about it at one point in a previous show where like you just saw it click in the Alabama game. Like he dropped the ball, but forward progress had already been called. And then that next play, they tried ripping it from him, and you just saw him like hold on to it for dear life.
That Kentucky game, they also called him down when he wasn't down. He was knocked down in that Kentucky game. I don't know if they reversed it or not. That was ridiculous. His knee was like 2 feet from the ground. They called him down originally.
Can I pull the chat real quick? I don't want to change gears too much. I don't want to keep hampering on this. I want to ask the chat because we've been building a great community here, right? The Talkin VAWLS Network. It's a bunch of like-minded Tennessee fans. I made the decision to bring Uncle Lou on, and that brought a lot of negativity to this channel. It brought a lot of trolls to this channel. So I'm going to give you guys a voice. There's 268 people watching live right now. My alarm clock's going off. I don't know why. I've got like 8 hours left to sleep. Let me ask you guys something. When these Georgia fans come in, when these South Carolina fans come in, how much tolerance do you want us to give them? Do you want us to ban them immediately? If they come in and say 1998, do you want us to ban them? But if they come in and they start dropping profanity and cussing people, is that when you want them to on? Like, what's the line? What's the line? Because it was embarrassing. Let me tell you something, guys. For real. Monday morning, we had a great show. Eric Kane came on. We did 30 minutes. Big Vol Daddy came on. We did about an hour together. It was a freaking great show. Like, we had a great show coming off of a terrible loss. I checked the comments all day long on YouTube, and it was all Uncle Lou people. It was all Carolina jackpot people. It was
We're
all
living rent free in their
negativity.
head.
So
They're
should I let them
terrified of
hang
us.
out? I'm asking
Well-
you, the chat. What do you want? Because people in the live streams are saying we can't interact with each other because there's so much negativity. There's so much Georgia fans and South Carolina fans. Hey, if you want us to ban them, we'll ban them. Like if you want this to be all orange, I'll kill them. I'll get rid of them.
But I mean, it's fun. It's fun having, you know, the other schools coming in and guys talking shit and everything. But
The
when
camaraderie.
it gets annoying and they keep going and keep going, that's when you're just like, all right, dude, I'm trying to listen. Stop with all
They
the
only
banter.
won. They only
You know.
won last year because Jamison Williams and Mechie were out. They would have lost that game if Alabama was healthy. They know it too.
But that's the comment right there from Angry Titan. When they come in and you guys can't talk to each other because there's so much Georgia crap and South Carolina crap, that's not what this channel is. This isn't trash talking. We're not here to argue with Uncle Lou and argue with Carolina jackpot. No, we're here to get Tennessee fans together. That's what we want. So it becomes
if you've
a
got
point
another
where
fan,
I'm willing to ban them all. I'm willing to ban every Georgia fan, South Carolina fan, so you guys can have this community. That's what I'm struggling with the last couple of weeks.
I mean, if you got somebody in here like the Clemson fan we just had, that's one thing. But when you're in here insulting everyone and, like you said, just spamming up the comment section, so I mean, it kind of defeats the purpose to even have live chat on. You know what I mean?
But Boogie, what about the good Georgia fans, Boogie?
There are a few. There are a few.
Three
there are
on
a
the
few.
planet.
Actually, let me be honest. I mean,
They live in Chattanooga,
I don't believe
right?
there are good people that pull for Georgia. I think they're all terrible, ugly, disgusting human beings. I think it's just that no, there are no good Georgia fans, Eric. There are none.
Hit the nail on the head.
That's about where I'm at.
Hook, line, and sinker baited that.
Yep.
Now, the comment you just threw up there from David Bays, I think that is maybe where you kind of draw a line, because I know my kids will watch the show occasionally.
Sure.
And
A lot of people's kids watch the show. That's why we have a don't cuss rule. Like, please don't cuss. People still come on here
it's a
and
little
cuss.
more laxed on a 9 o'clock show.
Sure,
when
sure.
kids should be in bed. You know, they're out. That's why I was late tonight. They were still running around because no school tomorrow, and I didn't realize it was 9 o'clock. But anyway, you know, a tailgate show or a post game or a Wednesday night show. You know, I think we're trying to put on a good show, but also keep it respectful. I mean, I think that's the big thing. It doesn't get personal. It's about football. It's not about, you know, any of that. I don't know. I mean,
My thing is, the reason I'm saying this right now, because it came up, I love having this community, right? And I get it. The bigger the channel gets, the less that community factor is there. And all of you guys on here are paying members of the channel, so we can keep that community aspect. But there are people that have been here since day one. And when we have a show and there's 1,400 people in the chat and 400 of them are Georgia fans, basically saying, screw you, y'all suck, you know, eat this, eat that.
That's too much.
1998. It's like, where do
They can
where do
talk
we
when they've
draw
had
the
an
line?
NFL QB wasn't a bust.
Oh, and I mean, I know you probably don't want to go this route, Boogie, but there's also like the possibility of having member-only streams, like not like this, but like just streams where only the members can come in.
But you know what? I mean, that's basically what Sunday night is. Anybody that watches the NCAA streams, that's what that is. Like, none of the Georgia fans come into that. They see NCAA and they're like, okay, I'm belly.
Yeah.
Those Sunday night streams are so much fun because of that reason. There's no
I usually don't
bullcrap.
get to see them either.
There's no BS. There's no nonsense.
What you need to do then, Boogie, is just put the NCAA like
cover
box
photo
art like on there, but then put a call-in show under it, because we know the Georgia fans don't read. All they hear is wow, 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 bark, bark, bark.
I see Alan B. Troll Patrol in the chat. He's the only Georgia
I like
fan
your theory.
Shout out to Matt C. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. We appreciate that. Thank you for the support. I don't know, man. I know we're just spitballing. It's a fan call-in show, whatever. I want you guys to get what you want out of this channel, and the bigger the channel gets, the harder that is. That's
Man,
why. That's why
I look forward to seeing you guys more than I look forward to seeing my own family most of the time through the week. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like, I really do just enjoy being able to sit down and talk about this because, you know, I come from a big family and most of us are gone now, but every single one of us just bled orange. And I was like, man, I don't have anybody to share this with. And then I found you guys and I'm like, oh, great. Look at this. Monday morning, you know, I'll be late for work. That's fine.
Yeah, see, like this idiot right here, like this guy right here, ban him or not? Like that comment, ban him or not?
Nah.
Yeah.
No, just the one comment. He can talk some shit, or trash. Sorry, but like,
if he
they ain't winning this year, he can enjoy last year all he wants.
But see, that's the funny thing is it's like you talked all that trash, and it's like at some point, like
we were like 8-4.
When do you realize that I'm not responsible for the entire Tennessee fan base? Yeah. Like that's what drives me nuts is they come into the chat, they come into the comments. Well, you all said this, dude. I never said that. Why
he wasn't listening to he wasn't listening to this chatter. He would have he would know that he never heard that.
Right. That's what's so it drives me absolutely nuts. Evan counts for 5. If they're on here, then they have absolutely no life at all and nothing better to do.
I never go to Bama fans stream.
Right. My wife, every time I'm frustrated, I'm like, I don't get it. She's like, can you imagine being a grown adult? And like, she's like, would you ever go to an Alabama channel or Georgia? No, I don't have time. I don't watch Uncle Lou video. I don't watch Carolina Jackpot videos. People send it to me and they're like, Boogie, they said this, they said that, they said this, they said that. So I see it because I got a bunch of people that like are ride or die and they've got my back. But it's like, I ain't got time to watch Uncle Lou rant and rave with his stupid sunglasses on.
Man, that's like that thing I shared.
I just want to know what you guys want.
It's the same type of people that, you know, fantasize and, you know, live their lives over movie stars and stuff. I mean, they can't, you got too much going on in your life to worry about other people.
Did you see the post I left on the Facebook page? There's actually a group called Vol Hater.
Yeah,
of course there is. Of course there is.
That's every.
Like, we're living rent free.
There's a Gator hater one. There's all that's just what it is.
But the rent free.
Man, how lonely do you have to be to wake up and troll another team all day, every day?
But imagine coming into this comment section or this live chat and saying, "We're living rent free in your head, bro." Really? Because you're in our chat. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like I'm not standing on your doorstep. I ain't coming to your job while you're weed eating, saying you're not doing that right. Like I don't freaking care.
I won't lie. I went to after the Tennessee Kentucky game and after the Kentucky Vanderbilt game, I did go to Cats Illustrated and harvested some tears for some laughs.
Gary,
I didn't. I learned.
Let's be a better person.
I learned. I didn't participate. I learned.
You're in the war room and you're playing WoW and you're watching ESPN. Gary.
No, man. I'm playing NCAA.
Joe,
are you reading on this? Are you reading on this, Boogie?
What am I reading?
Yeah.
What I missed?
Tennessee tears. Well, you in the wrong place, man.
There ain't no tears here. We weren't supposed to do anything this year and won 10 games.
That's the funny thing. That's the funny thing. I missed the chat. Who is it? Is somebody in the chat?
Yeah, it's just they don't get it, man. We've had so many years of letdown. They really think that this one game, you know,
I just want to be competitive.
It is what it is.
Win every year.
We're over-exceeding. We're good to go.
Is this, wait. Is this the one you want? The guy that says he doesn't know the difference between your and you are? Is that the one? Still a loser. I'm surprised he knows how to spell loser. But hey,
with an apostrophe.
Please. Learn the difference between your and you are. Like when you learn that, I'll accept your comment. But until then, like, what are you doing with your life? Where's your wife? You don't have one. Where are your kids? You don't have any. What do? Are you in mom's basement? Like, what are you doing with your life, bro? Like, for real. Like, I'm being serious. What are you doing with your life that you're on the Talkin VAWLS network? Like, me and Dauber know each other in real life. Everybody on this panel is like-minded. We just like Tennessee, man. We like to get together, hang out, talk about it. And you're watching us, and I know you don't know the difference between "you're" and "you are," but it's like, what are you doing? Let me just watch this. This is what I was thinking about today. These people say things, and if they said it to my face, they get socked. Boom, done, down, right? The new punch a dude in the face is the band hammer. So if you say something to me that you said in real life that I would punch you, that's a block. I think that's what I'm going to do. Like if you said it to me in real life and I would punch you in the face, I'll block you. And you can say I'm soft and weak and whatever.
You just don't have time for it.
Yeah, I'll punch you in the face with the block hammer and we'll move on. That dude's gone. Like, it's all good. I'm spending way too much. We're not even talking about football. Dauber's laughing. He's like, what the heck is going on? Dauber, you don't understand my life, bro, because I'm reading comments every single day.
I get it.
Kenneth Gordon for $5. Nothing to say. Just a super chat. Appreciate that, buddy. That's a tip in the tip jar. Evan Counts for $5. Pretty sure Uncle Lou lives in his parents' basement. Uncle Lou, let me say this about Uncle Lou. He was the coolest guy ever. Off air when we were talking. Coolest guy ever. On air, great. The second we went off air, he became a psychopath. So whatever. I get it. It's fine. We're almost an hour and a half into this thing. Let's go about another 10 minutes. Austin, I'll kick it to you, man. Anything you want to talk about before we wrap this thing up? What do you want to get into? What do you want to talk about for the next 10 minutes?
I think it's crazy people think we're going to take a step back with Joe Milton, because I think we're going to take a step up in a preview for next year, because I think Milton opens up the offense more, because I'm seeing Cam Newton, Josh Allen type player. He can throw it 80 yards. He's built like a linebacker.
I got to make one more comment. I'm sorry, and then we'll continue.
You're fine.
Don't be an idiot. Did I ever say that Jackpot should come on for the post-game show? No, I didn't. Stop listening to your drunken cult leader lie. I never said that. I never said he could come on the show. Not once. He had an opportunity in the preseason. This is the last time I'm going to say this. Then I'm freaking done with you idiots. I told him in the preseason he could come on. He chose to make a video cussing and yelling and screaming like a drunken idiot, throwing up middle fingers, and I said, you'll never come on this channel again. So he can continue to stream to 12 people while we have 300, 400, 1,300 people watching us. So screw Carolina Jackpot. Brock, you're blocked because you're an idiot. That's the end of it. I'm not addressing it again. I'm moving on. I'm done with Lou. I'm done with Jackpot. It's over. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. It's Tennessee fans, ride or die. I'm done. That's the end. I'm sorry. I had to say it one more time. Austin,
Fanhammer.
It's over. I'm not addressing it. I'm not talking about it anymore. You come in and say, why didn't you let Jackpot on? You're blocked. You're done because that didn't happen. It's a lie. It's over. Austin, go ahead.
Boogie, hold on real quick. You got to use what Dauber just did every time you ban someone. Let him do his little band hammer move right before you.
My God, that's going to it's just going to take over the whole show at this point. Might as well just make an animated emoji for it.
Oh,
the frustrating thing is, if
there's
you
an
want to
idea,
talk
man.
trash, I'm good with it. But if you are going to lie, I can't stand it. And he lied to his fan base, so they keep coming in here saying, why don't you let Jackpot on? Because he's a dickhead, and I never told him he could come on. Like, that's it. Like, he is a drunk. He is an alcoholic, man. Like, red face, cussing and carrying on. Like, you were never asked to come on. Ever. He will never be on this channel.
Seriously,
So,
though, I like this Dauber hammer emoji idea.
Yeah. One more time. Give him the hammer, and then let's let Austin roll. It's over.
Hammer.
It's over. The chat's laughing. Leah says that Jackpot's a drunk. It's the truth, man. He's drunk.
This person spamming the score for the game is the next one to get the Dauber ban hammer.
Yeah, they beat our ass. I mean, they beat our ass. What
and
else
that's
is there to say?
fine.
They outplayed us.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. That's perfect.
You beat us. That's what I told every fan that came to me wanting to talk crap. I said, you beat the crap out of us. Congratulations. Enjoy your win.
But you know what?
We were your
That's what
Super
South
Bowl.
Carolina's known for.
Well, let's do it this way. They got Clemson next, and
let me hit this. Let me hit this dude for GOAT. We will be live Friday. David Hobbs is going to commit at 5 o'clock. We're going to go live at 4:30. Gabe's going to jump on. Dauber, if you're free, you can jump on. JP, I'm going to yell at him. We're going to go live about 30, like probably about 4:30. David Hobbs set to commit at 5. We're going to stream snipe it. We'll be ready to rock and roll for that one. So tune in for that. All right. No more bull crap. We'll just ban all the idiots and we'll make this the Tennessee community that we had rolling before I brought Uncle Lou on. So
yeah, there's a couple people down there like, please don't ban all Georgia fans. We're not all that way, you know.
If you're a dickhead, you're banned. If you're not, cool, man. That's the thing. Like all these people go to other channels and they're like, Boogie banned me. I'm such a nice person. I only ban assholes, man. I don't ban. Like if you come in here and just like Alan V, people hate the guy. He ain't going anywhere. This is a good one. Could we get the MC Hammer clip? Where'd it go? There was there it is. Can we get the MC Hammer clip? That might be a good one. Every time we ban somebody, we just play MC Hammer. That'd be good. I'm down with that. All right. We got 5 minutes. Austin,
parachute pants emoji.
Ignore everything I said and all my rants. Let's go back to talking.
So let's say Joe Milton closes out the year. He throws for like 350, and he plays a really good game against Vanderbilt. And then in the bowl game, he's a little iffy, but we win. Are you rolling with Joe Milton next year, or do you let him and Nico battle it out?
We're rolling with Joe Milton no matter what next year.
Absolutely.
That's what I think. That's what I think too. I think we let Nico sit a year and learn, and then
I wouldn't be surprised if Nico wins before the end of the year.
I wouldn't either.
If Joe's kind of struggling, maybe by mid-year, Nico.
It would have to be drastic for them not to redshirt him.
I think so at this point, we're completely discounting Taven Jackson. I don't think we should.
Exactly what I
think he's going to transfer
all year long, man.
I think he's going to transfer. I think he'll transfer after next year at max. I just don't think he'll get a chance to play.
But I think
he is good though.
I think that he's going to, and he will legitimately have a shot.
He should. He's good.
Yeah, I don't think Nico's going to be able to beat Taven out, just coming in his freshman year. I just don't see it.
No, you redshirt Nico. 100%.
Yeah, that's what
look at Milton.
Save him.
Milton, by all all accounts and purposes, if he wanted to play this year, he should have hit the portal.
Yeah.
Lost
that's why I love him. That's why I love him.
But the dude stuck it out. Why? I mean, he has a huge upside, huge athletic ability. I think he stuck it out because he sees that this system, sees that Josh Heupel is a quarterback guru.
He is.
You look at what he did with Drew Lock. You look at what he did with Gabriel. And then the other kid at UCF. He is growing and learning, and he sees that. So he stuck it out.
I think the conversations that they have is like the real deal. You know what I'm saying? Like between Heupel and Milton, like Heupel told him, he said, stick around and you'll be the guy. And I think, him being honest about that and being true to that. And as long as he committed and he has,
Now,
I think
I'm not saying that everybody's cut from the same cloth and Taven Jackson, a player wants to play. That's, these guys have played football their whole life. They were a stud in, pee-wee football, a stud in middle school football, stud in high school, and they don't want to come sit the bench. But if they see I put in the work and it's going to be my chance, and the system is proven to work, then it's one of those. I mean, what would you guys do? Would you stick it out or would you, go somewhere else?
I'd stick it out because I love Tennessee.
Tough decision.
I'm biased.
I don't.
It's tough, man. You talk about, like Dauber said, athletes, man, competitors. They've been the stud their whole life, and now they're on the bench.
Joe Milton was the starting guy, and he got benched too. So that's like the really big thing right there.
I was shocked he didn't transfer.
Huge slap in the face, and for him to stick it out and be like, "This is my team. This is where I'm supposed to be."
Great team.
And man, I hope the guy absolutely balls out next year, and
he deserves to.
What a story to go from transferring from Michigan, winning the starting gig, and getting hurt and then losing it, and then coming back around to your final year having what a ride.
I have a very serious question, Dopper. We got Hooker and then we got Milton, and we're talking about Nico coming in. Now, Taven Jackson can run a little bit, but if he was to end up as our starting quarterback, does our style of offense have to change entirely?
A little, I think.
I think that's the beauty of this coaching staff. They will make adjustments on their personnel.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
the beauty. We heard it from previous staffs; they didn't do it. I think this staff will do it.
Josh Dobbs, the only reason Pruitt or Butch Jones stayed as long as it is. Dobbs brought
100%.
Butch Jones so many years.
Yeah,
we should have won a national championship that year.
You saw the difference in play calling the beginning of last year when Milton was starting quarterback to when Hooker came in. And I think a little bit of that was due to, Milton hadn't been in the system long enough. They condensed it a little bit, and then kind of getting Hooker rolling when he took over. But the play calling was completely different. And I think it will change a little bit. Like Boogie said, Milton did not seem to run the offense as it had been ran by Hooker as efficiently and as fast. But I think it will be catered more to his style. I'm not saying we're going to line up and run 4 verticals or, 2 posts and a couple of outs, deep outs. And, but I do think you maybe factor in that deep ball a little bit more.
I think there will be more QB runs too.
That was something I was impressed on.
We got to look at the difference in quarterbacks too. Like, you're talking about the way Hooker ran the offense, but he came from Virginia Tech and Milton come from Michigan. So I mean, they were more of a pocket style pass and scramble if he had to. But a lot of Hooker's game plan originally was to have the option, and I think that's one reason Joe Milton just kind of struggled with it. That, and you got to think it has been a year and a half, since he lost his starting job. So I think maybe 3 or 4 games into it, he might have settled into the same place that Hooker is.
I
believe
Milton
in him.
The option the other night when he got physical.
Too.
Like he's a
strong runner. He runs like Justin Fields or Jalen Hurts.
You got to wonder what he's gonna what Alex Golis, Josh Heupel, what's their game plan going to be when Milton's the only scholarship quarterback? Like, will they run him or will they be kind of cautious and say,
that's
going to be interesting.
We can't get Joe hurt.
Huge point right there because Taven Jackson's out, broken collarbone. And that was something I wanted to hit on. Taven Jackson took a hit in the UT Martin game and got a broken collarbone. So I think if Taven Jackson is in the picture, I think you're looking at a different setup and design of the offense as well. So I do think that it is, and to Boogie's point, that's what we've seen from this staff. It's by design based on the skill set of the players that are out there. It's not, this is the offense we're running. It doesn't matter if you fit it or not, get out there and go do it. And, that was kind of what, unfortunately, some players were forced into. And, that's why the results that we had through various coaching staffs were what they were. And to I think Austin's point, Josh Dobbs buying Butch Jones probably a year and a half longer than he had by his pure athletic ability in winning ball games.
Let me jam some super chats. Wayne Starnes, only gas more that I called Dylan Gabriel. I'm pretty sure I did that in the post-game show. Pretty sure I called him Dylan Gabriel too. So don't worry about it, Wayne.
There's a dude on there. Why is there a dude with a Clemson shirt on here? Well,
hey, because he's a good dude. Because he's a good dude. Man. He's not coming in the chat insulting.
He's not
I'm
a troll.
having fun. You guys are rallying the troops. You guys gave me the authority, and I'm like, okay, ban. Y'all are talking. I'm just over here like banning people left and right in the chat. I'm like, let's get back to a group of Tennessee fans that are like-minded. That's what this channel is all about. And it bothered me the other night when somebody said, man, we couldn't even talk in the post game because there were so many Georgia fans and so many, Alabama fans. No, screw that. Let's just ban them all. I don't care if that means we lose 200 views. I don't care. I want this to be a community of Tennessee fans. Let's get back to it, Dobber. Let me jam through some super chats. Austin Ireland becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that, buddy. Alan Steinhardt, $20. That is not cheap. I'm late. Joe will get it done. Dropping those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. GBO Power T Smokey. Thank you, Alan. We appreciate it. I hope so. I'm with Joe, man. I'm a big Joe fan. Bryson necessary for 5. Let me know if I'm crazy, but I'm more excited about Joe Milton III next season than I was for Hendo Heisman before this season. What y'all think? I think it's comical because I got annihilated on this channel for saying that Joe Milton would get it done. But I love that you guys are on board now. So I'm with you. Bryson, appreciate the super chat. Evan Counts for 5. Might be planning a 2-quarterback system. Jackson Pico to keep the defense on their toes.
That's a trap.
No,
you got 2 quarterbacks. You don't have a quarterback.
Hey, who do we have right now if Joe goes down?
Navy Schuler.
I heard Gaston Moore
Moore.
and Navy Schuler.
Screw it. Put Sampson in the Wildcat.
Yes, put Fan in there. He can do everything else.
Yeah, Fan can do everything.
He can throw it. He can run
Fan can throw it 60 yards.
Jeremy Banks.
Beast mode like AJ Johnson.
Yeah, Banks can be running back.
Back in the day, I mean, he would be. Dude's a beast.
You don't want to get Joe hurt. That's what you don't want to happen.
I think you play as conservative as possible unless you absolutely cannot and have to take some chances.
That's why I'm curious.
You guys remember when we called? You guys remember when we called a kicker out of his dorm room?
Yes.
To come down and suit up.
Yes.
Dude was sitting in his dorm room watching the game on TV, and his phone rang, and they were like, "Hey, man, get down here."
I don't think Gaston Moore and Navy Schuler are that bad, but you still don't want them taking over.
I mean,
they should be able to beat Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Wasn't Navy Schuler?
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
he had to be that good.
He transferred from App State. Those of you that
I went
don't
to
like
grad school
my
there.
hat, you got
dude,
my hat.
I loved your hat, dude.
App State's awesome.
It'll be a home game this week. We don't have to worry about crowd noise. It's going to be a home.
Yeah,
So we don't have to worry about that.
Okay. I need y'all's wisdom here on that. Speaking of that, my girlfriend works for Vanderbilt Hospital and has access to tickets, but I am really in this. Oh God, what if we lose at Commodore Stadium?
Just go.
Should I go?
I watched us get our ass beat by South Carolina and still had a great time. That stadium was electric.
You're going to be in the Vandy section. You know that, right?
Oh, I know. That's fine. I mean,
there's going to be no Vandy section.
I have been to a Vandy game. I have been to a Vandy game at Neyland, and it's literally like Vandy players literally, or Vandy fans literally have Tennessee shirts on under their Vandy shirts. I've physically seen them take off Vandy shirts at halftime.
Hey, man, I live 45 minutes from Nashville, and I'm going to be honest with you. Everyone around here is closet Vanderbilt fans when they're not rooting for you two. So it's really not that bad. But are they really going to try to checker Vandy? Or please tell me that's not happening?
I hope to God we do. I hope to God we do.
I don't think
it won't happen. We were supposed to check her against Kentucky, and I wore the right stuff, but nobody else did.
Yeah, I get it against Kentucky or South Carolina, Georgia, anybody. But Vandy, really, man? I mean, that's like picking on your little brother. You know what I mean?
Man, that's great. Because I'm fine with it, but I don't think it'll
slap him in the face.
If we would have taken care of business this past weekend, it would have happened. I don't think it's going to happen now.
I agree with that, Gary. I agree with that. Let me get another super chat here from Alan. Comes back with another $5. Working for a living sucks. I need to be like Boogie and start a channel and tell the TVA to pound sand. Hey, brother, I'm still working for a living. When I'm not, I'll let you guys know. If I quit my job, we're going to have a stream that says, I quit my job. Let's celebrate. You guys will know before anybody else. But, hey, let's wrap this thing up. We're an hour and a half in. I love these fan call-in shows. It's so much fun. And I'm a little excited that you guys have kind of rallied me up and said, ban these idiots. I banned about 8 people in the last 20 minutes. It's been a lot of fun. Let's get rid of the idiots. Let's get rid of the clowns, and let's build a community. Somebody in the chat, I didn't ban them for this, but they said, so you want an echo chamber? No, I don't want an echo chamber. I want Tennessee fans to come at me with all different opinions. That's what it's all
we trust you to decide who's an idiot and who's not an idiot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tennessee fans, everybody that disagreed with me on Joe Milton, great. Everybody that disagrees on anything, you want to fire Tim Banks, cool. But if you come in here and you're go dogs, burr, 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 you bark like a dog, good riddance. Good riddance. But we're gonna wrap this thing up, man. I love the fan call-in shows. The schedule is gonna change next week. Next week after the Vanderbilt game, we kind of change gears. There's no 4 nights a week that we're streaming, but I'm going to make a commitment to you guys. We're going to do some fan call-in shows. So whether it's to cover recruiting, whether it's to cover the portal, like my goal is when news kind of comes out, if there's a bunch of it, we'll have it come to Jesus meeting and say, hey, we're going live tonight. It's a fan call-in show. Come hang out, talk about it.
When is the portal open?
I think it's open now. In Alabama,
it is open now, but I mean, does it close at the end of the year? After?
I think they changed the rules on it. I think they're going to open and close it, but I don't know exactly what those rules will be. My
it's just going to pop up here and there randomly. Just a little portal.
Yeah. I think it opens and closes, so we'll see how it works out. But anyway, we're going to wrap this thing up for Dauber, for Austin, for JT, for Gary, for Daniel, a Clemson fan. It's been a good time. Thank you guys for hanging out. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go
Big Orange.
See, I got to find the outro. When I find the outro, I can say it. Orange.
That we call home, and it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive.